Legendary Tigers broadcaster reflects on career, looks to future with resolve. And Bill McGraw with the story in this morning's Free Press. It's on the front page. They've got a summary, and then on 17A, a full story on Ernie's diagnosis, and it's not good. It's incurable, a tumor in the area of the bile duct. But the great thing about the story is Ernie's tremendous optimism, and, I'm just amazed. We blew in a call to Ernie earlier this morning, and thinking, if he didn't feel like talking about it, fine.
That's right.
But guess who's on the phone?
There he is. There he is.
I'm right here.
Oh, Ernie. Oh, man.
So sorry about the diagnosis. But
Thank you. It's something we all have to face up to, and I have a great faith in the Lord and in Jesus, and I've decided many years ago that I surrendered my life to Him, so I know He's in charge, and He's walking with me, and Lula feels the same way, my wife of 68 years, and together we have the strength to face it, and we're just going to face it with resolve and not be too concerned, because God's got a time for everybody to go, and the way I look at it, I just know now it's going to be a little bit earlier than it might have been, but I've been around 91, almost 92 years, and I've got a lot to be thankful for, believe me.
Oh, man.
I don't think I've ever felt quite so bad hearing that a 91-year-old person had this diagnosis.
Man.
I really brought my day down when I heard that.
I don't feel bad about that. I have a wonderful family, and I've had a wonderful career. God's put me in a lot of places and given me some talent that maybe I could use a little bit of, and it's just been a magnificent time for me, and the response by people is overwhelming. I just can't understand why they make so much over just an old radio announcer, but that's fine. I appreciate it very much.
An old radio announcer. Oh, my God, Ernie, you're the best.
Judging from the some of the calls we're getting this morning and the emails, I think you're going to be hearing from a lot of people, because the address is in the paper.
That's fine. I like that. And my only regret is that I can't look each one in the face or sit down and write each one a letter and express my thanks, because it's there, but it's an impossible task, of course, and I've got to conserve my energy, too, at the same time.
And, Ernie, did you? How long ago did you get this diagnosis? Was this recent?
Well, I began to feel a little bad around Lulu's birthday is on the 16th of July, and I began to feel a little bad. I didn't know what it was, and we had various tests, and the biggest problem I had was I had suspicions that it was fairly drastic, and the doctors kept taking tests, and they could never come up with any definitive answer, and people keep asking me, how are you and what are you doing and so forth, and I just didn't like the idea of not telling anybody anything, but on the other hand, you just can't blab it out, so it was a problem. But finally, a couple of days ago, the doctors came out here to the house, and they were great. They laid out the whole thing with the family, and we decided a course of action and accepted everything, and we're ready to go now. So,
and obviously, there's no surgery that can be done, or
no,
at least
they think
helpful
the surgery is too risky at my age to warrant it, and the treatment that takes the family through everything, is such a tough one without many results. Usually, that everybody we've talked to has just said, "Well, take that course of waiting and let the Lord take care of things."
So, Ernie, was that a tough decision to pass on the treatment, or was that an easy one for you? I mean, not
no,
easy,
I just trusted in God what should be done, and I feel okay about it. It's I don't want people to think I'm not a fighter or that I'm giving up, but it was just a question of the reaction with the family and everybody else, as well as my own feelings.
Must have been devastating. I can't even imagine receiving a diagnosis like that. I can't even imagine. Your strength is extremely inspiring to everybody, obviously.
Well, thank you for that. I've had a lot of friends that have surrounded me and are rooting for me, and the main thing is I just want to live my life to the fullest, and then when the time comes, it comes.
Yeah.
The Governor George Romney had a great saying that I really liked, and it sounds sort of goofy, but he once said, I'd like to die healthy. And, I've been around a lot of old people, and I've suffered with seeing their lifestyles and things, and it's not easy to get old. And when you do get old, you begin to realize the great things that you're giving up, although old age has a lot of benefits to it, too. So as I look back, I like to emulate what Romney said, that I'd like to die healthy.
Well, Ernie, we know you're not throwing in the towel, and I hope people didn't get that idea.
Oh, no, we're not doing that, no.
Hell no. And we got a great pennant race going on here, too. Now, I know you haven't been feeling well, but have you been enjoying
no, I've enjoyed the pennant race. I think this Tiger team is so interesting because Dombrowski and Leland have put together a team that just seems every tool that they have is useful, and that's the job of a franchise. You can go out and get great players, and they have great backgrounds, but they just don't fit into the situation. But these guys seem to rise to the occasion, and it'll be one hero one day and another one the next. And the great thing about the team is they have magnificent pitching, especially these young arms that look like they're going to be around for a long time if nothing happens. And they have a great defense, and I've always been a believer, like Connie Mack said, pitching and defense is 75% of baseball. And hitting will come and go, and you'll hit a few, and then you won't, and a good pitcher will stop a good hitter. And I think the Tigers have really got a good chance, certainly to win the division. I don't think there's any question much about that.
Ernie, what do you think of Porcello? He strikes me as a guy that could win 200, 250 games. When I watch him, he's so young and so good, and I love the way his ball moves. Does he impress you?
Oh, very much, and he's got such an easy motion, It doesn't look like he's putting any pressure on his shoulder or the rotator cuff, which is the downfall of a lot of young guys. And he seems to be in control, and his temperament seems to be fine. And I think that's sort of a reflection of the Tiger farm system and the scouting. Dombrowski's got the right idea. I've always felt that a franchise has to be built through scouting and good picks, and then get a surplus of good players, and you can make some big deals. And, of course, you can sprinkle a big guy in there once in a while, somebody like Cabrera or Polanco or somebody like that. But you've got to work on that team and get it where it can go out and win games. And winning is much more important than having 300 hitters or guys that hit 50 home runs.
That's right. And if you're just joining us, by the way, you're hearing a mighty spunky Ernie Harwell. I bring up the Tigers, and boy, you just come to life. But Ernie got some bad news. He's got a tumor in the bile duct that is incurable, but Ernie is moving on in spite of deciding to pass on some pretty grim treatment from the way it's described. But, Ernie, I was wondering if you've ever seen anything like this Magglio Ordonez situation where a certain number of at-bats will fire up this $18 million deal, and just when it looks like, you know what, he's not playing well enough to even merit the at-bats, the guy starts hitting. He's up to 280 now. And
it's amazing. I think that's really coincidence. I think it might have happened anyway. But back until the last several years, baseball did not allow a bonus clause based on performance. And this is something that they've crept in, and I don't think it's a good idea. I really don't.
Because of this?
Because you get to a situation now where you've got to make a decision, and either if the Tigers, let's say, number one, if they let him go, then they say, well, they're giving up on the team. And if they take him and keep him at his age and so forth, other people say, well, they're throwing away money like crazy. And in the old days, you signed a contract, and that was it. And basically, your contract was depending on what you did the previous year and what the prospects of the coming year would be, and that was it. And once in a while, a guy would have maybe a pitcher like Bob Feller or Koufax or somebody could have a contract that would have a bonus on it. attendance because the pitchers are really the only guys that bring in extra attendance, generally speaking. But it was, I don't think it's a good idea to have that type of contract.
No, and this is obviously the reason why, because you're in the middle of a pennant race. I think Maglio's obviously still one of the 4 or 5 best hitters, at least on this team. And, you know, the idea that you would sit him out to avoid this contract when you kind of need his bat in the lineup. And personally, I had a hard time believing that Maglio just suddenly lost it overnight.
Yeah. I can't believe it, Leland. You know, he's such a good baseball man, and I've got a lot of faith in him. I really don't think that he would have it in his mind that, or had been told, don't play this guy because he might reach the number of at-bats that is in the contract. I don't really think that happened. I think Jim has a policy with everybody to rest the guy every now and then, even when he's going good. And Sparky had that same idea, and the idea really means that he can give his veterans a rest, and when the stretch drive comes, they'll still be fresh. And number two, the other players get to play, because the players that don't play are usually the big problems of a manager. And if you let a guy sit on the bench and not play, he loses his confidence, and of course, not playing, he gets rusty, and every time at bat becomes more important, he puts pressure on himself, and that's what happens. So I like the idea that Leland has, that he gives guys a rest once in a while, although sometimes it seems sort of crazy to take out a guy that has a pretty good year, you know.
Yeah, I'm not used to this business of giving a guy a day off before the team has a day off. But,
yeah.
Who's going to argue with Leland? He's certainly having a great year. The team just went 11 games over 500 for the first time. Hey, did you guys see the picture of Ernie raising his arms there in the booth?
Oh, absolutely.
Have you seen that picture,
That's
Ernie?
one of my unfavorite pictures. It looks like Woody Allen going to the circus.
That's so funny. It's your hair, Ernie. That's what it is, isn't it?
I guess so. It's probably 50 years old.
So you don't know the occasion?
No, I don't. You know, people are all around taking pictures, and that's fine. And as the pictures that people have sent me to sign, you know, that it's been fun. It's really been great.
Well, Ernie, we had a fantasy earlier this morning, and, you know, I'm sure a lot of this would depend on how you feel, but, boy, it seems like it sure would be nice to hear you do, I don't know, 3 innings or just 1 ball game in September.
Well, that's a nice gesture, but I really don't think I should do that, because I'd rather for people, you know, to hear me as I was maybe when I was fairly decent, and not expose all my faults at one time on a show, but.
Ernie, I have to tell you, I wasn't here until late 1991, so I missed the bulk of your career. I was here for the beginning of Riz and Rathbun, and then you came back, and I wondered the very same thing. Gee, I wonder if this guy still has it. And I picked up on your style right away, and I don't believe you ever missed a beat or lost any quality in terms of the job you did until you stopped broadcasting. And I don't believe you wouldn't do a fabulous job if you did it, but I understand how you feel.
I appreciate that. I really do. And I think in baseball broadcasting, like you guys on the air, the only way you can make it is be yourself. And if you try to be something else, if you try to act out something when you're on every day, people see right through it. And the way I tried to do a ball game, the game was paramount. It meant more than the announcer. And I tried to add a little bit more than ball one, strike one, with some historical anecdotes or some background. But I think you should stay away from stats and just give the score as often as you can and let the game flow. And because it's like anything else, Shakespeare, you know, said the play's the thing, it's not the actor. And I think it's the same thing with a baseball broadcast. Whether I'm doing the game or anybody else, a Tiger fan's going to tune in to see what the Tigers are doing, no matter who's broadcasting. And I think we all have to realize that when we get into the business.
Boy, if these anecdotes that Ernie just drops off without a second thought at 91 years of age, if that doesn't tell you that it might be a good idea to do some reading if you're going to be in the entertainment business, Ernie, you must read a ton.
Well, I do. When I was a kid, I loved baseball. From the time I was about 8 years old, I began to collect old baseball guides, and I would sit there when I was 10 years old and read about the 1909 World Series, play-by-play, stuff like that. And I really absorbed it. And I probably was a lot smarter when I was 13 years old than I am now.
Well, but you drop in Shakespeare and Romney, and you're a lot more rounded than you give yourself credit for.
Thank you.
Ernie, thanks so much for calling this morning.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you. I hope I didn't take too much of your time.
Oh, my God, Ernie, please.
Are you kidding? Stop it.
Oh, my God, I can't believe you just called us up just like that. That was just incredible of you.
Well, I enjoyed being with you, and just keep up the great work, okay?
Oh,
thank you, Ernie.
We'll be praying for you, and let's hope that you get still as many days or months as possible.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you, Ernie. Give Lulu our best.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Unbelievable.
Again, call him, and he's right there. Just per usual. Always available, man.
I never dreamed he would call back this morning. In fact,
of course not. A couple days after a diagnosis?
Always.
But he's not always asked to call back after something like this turns up in the paper.
Can you imagine?
But
a couple days after a diagnosis?
Is there a more positive person, though, than Ernie?
No, unbelievable. Man. Well, his faith obviously has a lot to... Yes, humility is almost annoying. I want him to knock it off.
I didn't take too much of your time, boy.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Well, Ernie, now that you mention it.
Jeez.
That is the coolest old man I've met in my entire life.
He is. And being here... let's see, I've been here 18 years now. When you come into a city like this, and Ernie would have been, 73 years old when I got here, and you'd think that maybe you wouldn't get it because you missed his prime, but I so get Ernie, and I loved listening to him when he came back, and he was doing the middle 3 innings by himself.
Yeah, that phase,
It's such a different feel to hear all that dead air, and you hear the crowd noise, and you can almost smell the joint.
Yeah, and that's his style, and that's what's beautiful about him, the fact that he lets you hear the game, and you feel like you're there in the stands, and you can just hear everything around you. And then his commentary is so great, his play-by-play is so exceptional.
I wonder if he's done any other media appearances this morning, because I was debating whether or not we should even bother him.
Yeah. Well, it's up. It's his call whether he's going to respond or not. But
obviously, he didn't mind responding.
But everybody can all remember. I don't remember growing up, and you hear Ernie all the time. People watching their cars in the driveway, and the baseball game on. You hear Ernie all the way down the street. I remember that as a kid, growing up in Royal Oak, always hearing his voice, always those baseball games, man.
And the longtime favorite of Tiger fans in Detroit and all across Michigan and the world, Ernie Harwell. Ernie, welcome to the broadcast.
Well, thank you, John, and hi, Joe. Good to be with you.
My pleasure. All right, so when big things have happened for the Tigers, going all the way back to, 1960? People associate Ernie Harwell with that, so it is only fitting that Ernie is here with us. The Tigers in their first postseason in 19 years, and Ernie is here to talk about it. I see you're still keeping score just like that.
I'm keeping score just like I might know what I'm doing.
Now, this is ESPN, Ernie. I mean, you don't have to keep your own scorebook. We have people that can do that for you if you like.
I tell you, I'm not used to such luxury.
That's the other thing. If you don't have anything to say after a pitch, just say, Joe.
And he comes in?
Yeah, it's all set.
No, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy it myself. Go ahead.
Well, here's Ordonez at the bat. He hit into a force to
goes right into it.
Inning. Johnson on the mound. All the Tiger hits have been singles, and then 5 of them. And they lead here 3-0. Strike. He got one on the inside corner. Big, tall Randy Johnson. He could throw hard at one time, couldn't he, Joe?
Yeah, I think he's throwing well tonight. Ernie, I don't think he's in the spots
he
as well
adds
as
to the moment,
he's got good stuff.
There's a bounding ball to third. Rodriguez fires over to first. And there are 2 down. Now, you were with J.R. Richard.
Oh, yeah.
He could do it, couldn't he?
Hey, I tell you what, Ernie, I've always told people this. If J.R. would have stayed healthy, he could have been possibly one of the greatest pitchers.
He paints a great picture of what's going on, a great visual. He could have been maybe the greatest pitcher ever. He had that kind of stuff. He was unbelievable.
Fly ball to right. Who's going to get it? Abreu. And that retires the side to 1-2-3.
All right. Now, Ernie, not much happened in that inning, so I'm asking you to stay a little bit longer. All right. Ernie Harwell here with us. The Tigers lead the Yankees 3-0.
Yeah, Ernie is just flat out an entertainer. He's not just a baseball announcer.
No.
These anecdotes and stories. What's that?
He always has the best, like you were saying, the best stories. I love that one about DeRocher. Which is fun. It's funny when he talks about these old guys that, you only read about in books.
But he brings them to life.
I know.
Yeah, he
because,
does.
there isn't a lot of film of these guys. There's not a lot available. And back then, Joe DiMaggio's career, for example, a lot of it was before television. So, these radio announcers were so important. And Ernie wasn't broadcasting in DiMaggio's day. Let's see. Ernie started out was he with the Orioles?
I thought he was with... Oh, boy.
You know what? Oh, wait,
wasn't he in Brooklyn? Because isn't he the only broadcaster to ever be traded for a catcher? I thought that was...
Yeah, that's right. Started with the Crackers in 1940. The Crackers? In 1943, before World War II intervened. In 48, Brooklyn traded catcher Cliff Dapper to Atlanta to acquire Harwell. Wow, what a great trivia question that is.
Jeez, yeah.
I mean, I wonder, has any baseball announcer ever been traded for a catcher?
I doubt it.
No, last time we talked to him, maybe a year and a half ago, he talked about that at a really in depth, which was funny.
Yeah. God, he's a great interview.
Dodgers 48-49, Giants 50-53, Orioles 54-59, and then Tigers 60-2002. Missed 1992 after firing. Did only television 94-98. But again, he used to do. I think he was doing middle three innings for a while with Liz and Rathbun on the bookends.
Yeah,
and it was Ernie by himself, and it was just I'd never heard anyone do a game by himself like that. And at first it's sort of like, gee, there's not this assault of information and voices, and then after a while, there's such a nice groove to it. It's so comfortable to have on.
Very much so.
If
Very
you're
at ease.
reading or doing yard work or something around the house,
That's
and
just
you've got
it.
this companion with you.
That's exactly how it was, man. The '60s, Royal Oak, just listening, God, I can still hear his voice, just playing across the front yard of all the houses and people outdoors, and Ernie in the game, man.
What you just said is so typical of the top 20 or 25 play-by-play guys of all time in the city that they owned for 30 or 40 years and did that. It's just that thing that you so associate with summer and a pennant race, or even if it's not a pennant race, it's just that voice and that play-by-play description that everyone likes so much because they're your guy.
Yeah.
And God, was Ernie Detroit's guy.
Boy, was he ever.
Well, is Detroit's guy.
Ernie Harwell once got into a battle with Leo DeRocher on a train when Leo was the manager of the Giants, and he beat Leo up.
I murdered him.
He took him down, Joe.
I got him. I was seated in the compartment there on the Pullman with Russ Hodges, and he sort of flapped the newspaper in my face, and I grabbed him, and we wrestled around until the inertia set in, We both nothing really happened, but it was a good story.
Well, I'm going with you. You beat the heck out of him.
I beat the heck out of him.
Yeah, Leo DeRocher's a tough dude, too. I'm amazed by that because DeRocher was the nice guys finish last was his famous quote. He had a lot of quotes like that. He was played in the Gas House Gang, the Cardinals in the 30s. I believe he was their shortstop, kind of a good field no-hit shortstop. And he went on to manage the Giants, the New York Giants. He brought up Willie Mays from... what was the Minneapolis?
Okay.
And he went 1 for his first 17, and Mays was, God, you hear this all the time. I always wonder if this is true because I've heard it about so many of those Hall of Fame players. Mays came to DeRocher and said, I want to go home. I can't hit Major League pitching. Please send me down. And DeRocher said, you're my center fielder. Every day I'm going to pencil you in. I don't care if you go 0 for 500. And then I think Mays went out and hit a home run the next night. And the rest is history.
Did you talk to him about the Giants-Dodgers game, the famous one, Bobby Thompson and all?
Yeah.
Ernie called that game.
But he called it for the Dodgers, didn't he?
He called it for NBC. And they didn't save the tape, so the only tape they had, because I guess at that time, each network had each team, so they both could broadcast the game.
Right.
So the one that was saved, of course, was the Giants win the pennant.
The Giants win the pennant. Well, I wonder what Ernie's call was.
It's gone.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What, and then he just let the applause take over the moment?
Long gone.
Wow. Well, before we had that fabulous interruption, again, the news is bad, but just hearing Ernie's voice is really makes you feel better.
Man, oh, man.
And his attitude,
what
incredible.
Man. Wow.
Certainly puts the stupid little problems that we all worry about in perspective.
Well, you're not kidding. In a big hurry.
Sports, that's where we were going. Brought to you by Boost Mobile. And the Lions last night I think it was kind of encouraging, in spite of the fact that Culpepper didn't play and he's hurt his foot and Stanton is out. We did get to see 25 more plays of Stafford. And Matt Stafford, man, he makes throws I've never seen anyone make in this town. Made a couple of them last night, including one to, was that Calvin that caught that ball on the sideline? Yeah.
Probably. It would make sense.
He was 5 for 9 for 81 yards. Did have an interception. In fact, I believe, did he throw an interception in every game he played?
I'm going to say, I think every exhibition game he's thrown an interception, hasn't he?
Yeah, who cares?
It's exhibition.
Part of the growing pains, too, of having a young quarterback. He had a fumble as well, which wasn't really his fault. He got pummeled in the pocket. Lions did win the game over Buffalo 17-6. Felton had a 1-yard plunge. And then late in the game with the Lions up 10-6 and seemingly looking to run out the clock.
Breaking to the outside, Tristan Davis. A foot race down the sideline. 30, and he will score.
Boy, did he kick on the afterburners. Man, can that guy run. Wow.
Well, it's funny. That's an 80-yard run, and the highlight is only 9 seconds. He got down that field 80 yards. He must have gotten down there at 8.5.
That dude was running for everything he was worth. Wow, what speed.
The cornerback or the safety, I'm not sure which, had the angle on him, too.
Yeah.
And he
outran him.
He outspaced that guy
did.
From the moment he had the angle.
That was incredible to see him run like that.
So the Lions finished the exhibition season 3-1, which is a big who cares. But, honestly, we did get something out of this exhibition season, and that is the future. As in Matt Stafford. My God, this guy is talented. I'm so excited about him. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought, you know what? I don't care until he's a starter, until they win 10 games with this guy, but I really believe he's going to be something special, as I think just about everybody does. College football kicked off last night, and not a lot of great games, although, you know what? I didn't see the Oregon. Let's see, was that Oregon Boise? Yeah, I didn't see. Was that a good game?
Yeah, well, yes and no. It's one of those games where it's really intense for like the first quarter and a half, but Boise jumped out to a 19-0 lead, and then it was nighttime.
Oh, right. God.
Time for the bed.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen the end.
Well, it ended up 19-8, and 16th ranked Oregon losing to number 14 Boise State. And, yeah, at the end of the game, LeGarrette Blount sucker punched Boise State's Byron Hout after the final whistle. And these guys are just kind of shaking hands and talking to one another. And I don't know what Hout said to Blount.
Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Have you seen it, Mike?